Camron, leaving Sirius XM, just got done with the Max B interview. Max B had the NY streets flooded. Jimmy acting like he can't see the water rising.
Me and these niggas go back like 40 years.
When you hear that you definitely didn't come home, what's the energy? Because I'm going to keep it 100. Yo, Killer, I got to talk to the governor in Jersey.
Yeah,
Yo, once
mayor.
I speak to the mayor and these brothers we got coming up.
It was, like I said, you just got to switch the mindset.
Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No.
Max B stepped out those prison gates and the whole city felt it, but Jim Jones couldn't even hide how salty he was. He hopped online calling the celebration dumb and trying to label Max B a failure, which is wild because didn't Jim cheer?
They caught a op now looking shit, now we gotta snip down. Look at that. Half these niggas broke, they can't.
When Mel came home, the energy switch is loud and it already had people talking, but here's where things get even wilder. Max B just sat down with Camron and Maze, and Cam straight up claimed that Jim is still scared of Max B after all these years.
I want you to pass it at some point.
You want me to crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out because I don't want to crash out.
So now we gotta break down what really went down, why Jimmy's reacting like this, and why Max B touching freedom again is shaking his whole foundation.
There was a bitch, her name was Cindy and Mindy. I wasn't sure cause I was too tipsy off the Remy, playing big in the bank. Me green, my dick was the buck, I was the ATM machine. Had the sparkle all in my ear. Nibble on the little nipples and blowing on the toes.
Max B, Max Big Avely, is one of those artists where the deeper you look, the more you realize he helped build a whole era of New York rap without ever getting the shine he deserved. His government name is Charlie Wingate, born and raised in Harlem, and he came up in the early to mid 2000s as part of Jim Jones's Bird Gang crew. But here's the kicker, Max wasn't just another rapper in the squad, not even close. He had this loose melodic sing rap flavor that nobody was doing like that back then, carrying a wavy vibe that felt ahead of its time, that half-sung, half-floating New York sound that artists like A$AP Rocky later made mainstream. Max was laying that blueprint way before it became fashionable. Even people who didn't rock with him had to admit he brought something new to the city.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, Max B really inspired my whole rapping career too. I feel like, not rapping career, but you see the way I'm making melodies.
Yeah.
He was a big part of that because before I started rapping, I was singing Max B all the time.
Max was dropping tapes like crazy. $1 Million Baby, the Public Domain series, Coke Wave with French Montana, and every single one turned into a cult classic. Even without mainstream push, he was the rapper other rappers secretly studied. But in 2006, right when he had real momentum, everything flipped. Max got pulled into a robbery situation that changed his whole path, and here's how the night went down. On September 22nd, 2006, Max B's ex-girlfriend Gina Conway told him about a guy she'd just met, Alan J. Plowden, and how he was flashing serious money around. Instead of ignoring it and keeping his focus, Max decided this would be his next move. He sent his stepbrother, Kelvin Ledoux, to handle the robbery and told Gina to ride along. They pulled up to Plowden's room at a Holiday Inn in Fort Lee, ready to get to that bag. Gina knocked, and another woman, Giselle Neve, opened the door. Giselle said Plowden was asleep, but that's when Kelvin pulled out the gun and held Giselle at gunpoint while Gina used duct tape on her. The whole spot turned chaotic fast. They started ripping the room apart looking for the bag, tossing everything, but they couldn't find a thing. So they woke Plowden up, taped him down too, and started pressing him about the money. He kept saying there was nothing in the room, so Kelvin forced him to call his partner David Taylor to bring the cash over. But when Taylor walked in, he instantly started fighting with Kelvin. Things got wild, and the gun went off. Taylor was fatally shot right there. After the chaos, Gina grabbed Giselle's purse and took the $800 out of Taylor's pockets while Kelvin snatched his watch. And this is what they threw their whole futures away for. Gas money and a couple accessories. It makes the whole thing look even more tragic. Once they dipped, Plowden told the hotel staff what happened, and when police rushed the room, they caught him in the middle of trying to hide $30,000. He literally got hit with his own charges because he was still shuffling the cash around. A few days later, Gina got picked up and she instantly told detectives everything about Max, Kelvin, the plan, every detail. Max and Kelvin were arrested not long after, and Max got slammed with a $2 million bail.
Where his kids go? Where's daughter?
By 2009, Gina took a plea deal on manslaughter and armed robbery and agreed to testify while facing up to 18 years. Fast forward to May 2009, Max and Kelvin's trial kicked off, and on June 9th, 2009, both of them were convicted on 9 out of 11 charges, including felony murder. Max was hit with a 75-year sentence, and Kelvin got a life sentence plus 35 years. The very next day, Max's ex Gina was sentenced to 15 years. Max tried to appeal the situation, but in August 2012, the appeal was rejected, locking in his 75-year bid at the time. But then in 2016, the whole situation flipped again when Max B's conviction got tossed out because it came out that his original lawyer had a serious conflict of interest.
I would never work for that cornball ass against me. I'm a boss. I'm not with that. It's never nothing no more. Like, I look like a boss, I feel like a boss, I taste like a boss. Max Bigger Val. Out of here, man. So Jim Jones, compare the names. Look, Max Bigger Val. Jim Jones. God, don't even add up. They're not they're not on my level, man.
His sentence got dropped to 20 years after he pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter, changing everything about his future. Jump to November, and Max finally touched freedom after nearly 16 years behind bars. Friends and family pulled up to welcome him home, including his longtime collaborator, French Montana. French posted a video of him greeting Max outside the prison gates and wrote in the caption, "Can't make this up. My brother really came home on my B-day. Humla, no more free you. It hit the internet like a bomb." Now let's slide straight into the messy part, the tension between Max B and Jim Jones.
Like, for instance, I'm gonna keep it tall. That's kind of how I missed out on Max B. I'm just being straight up honest. And Jim ended up signing him because Jim seen the vision, because Jim had an outside vision of Max. I grew up with Max. Charlie Rambo, play all day, joking all the time. So when he came to me and said he's gonna start rapping, I was like, yo, Charlie, stop playing. His exact words was killing. They were like, no, let's get this clicking like Dorothy's heels.
Max B, he wasn't Max B, his name was Charlie Rambo. He got out of jail, he come up to me. This is word for word. So I'm like, Charlie, what on? You guys say, yo, Flea, I just came home. I said, y'all say you always just come. He said, yo, Flea, you know how to rap now, let's get this clicking like Dorothy's heels.
When Max first locked in with Bird Gang and Dipset, he wasn't just tagging along, he was doing real heavy lifting. He wrote hooks, helped craft verses, and some people even say he played a part in major records like We Fly High.
From a few things that I'm saying, but you don't know the slam, like when you got locked up, you don't know the slander that I get. Cam, how the you let it go this way? From the same, like, what the how to go, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I ain't see the yo, I ain't see this nigga be playing niggas nigga in and out of jail all the time, man. I ain't see this shit was gonna happen. Niggas be ready to take my head off about this shit.
Yeah, cause you ain't a prophet.
Yeah.
They want you to be about prophet.
Yeah, listen, man. And I listen, I'm first tell you, I missed out and I didn't see it because you was too much of my nigga and I didn't see the vision. And sometimes what it is, not even talking about you, because you turned out to be something else.
You still got me in though.
Oh no,
you did everything in your. You was like, look, go see, bro.
Yeah, but listen, we boomerang. We here now. We ain't even gonna get into.
I'm just saying, like that's how.
Right.
Even you acknowledge, like, still, like, damn, I got Jaja, I got this. I got Rev, I got, you know what I'm saying? You said, nah, boom.
But here's where the drama kicks in. According to Max, he never got proper credit or fair money for any of it. He said he was basically being used. He'd put in the work, help create the sound, and Jim would stack the checks while Max walked away with almost nothing. We're talking shows where Jones was making serious money, and Max was getting paid a couple $100, barely anything for the work he was putting in.
Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No. Now we get past now. We can get past that now. You want to get past it, or you want to dive more into it? Or you want me to tweak
I
out?
want you to pass it at some
You
point.
want me to crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out because I don't want to crash out. Now, what I want for myself, I want for my brother.
I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's too much money out here, it's too much life out here, and I like to do the things that I like to do. Ain't nothing feel better than living right now.
You're right.
But this whole situation wasn't just about money, it was about respect. Max said Jim never treated him like an equal, even though he was carrying a huge part of the creative weight behind the scenes. That disrespect kept stacking up, and eventually, Max walked away from Bird Gang for good. After leaving, he teamed up with French Montana, and they started dropping music that openly pushed back at Jim Jones and showed people who really built those hits. They didn't hide anything. They put it all out there loud. Jim, on the other hand, claimed he never tried to mess up Max B's money and that he was just doing what he was taught by his own mentors. But here's what Jim conveniently didn't mention. He never gave Max his publishing back on his own. Max had to sue him for it, and the court forced Jim to return it. That part says a lot. Camron even spoke on this, and he always stood with Max. Cam said Jim has a pattern of trying to control people and taking credit for things he didn't fully create. Cam actually planned to sign Max before Bird Gang, but he admitted he didn't catch the vision early enough before Jim grabbed him up. That changed the whole path. Even after everything, Max and Cam stayed cool, and when Max came home, he sat down for an interview with Cam and Maze. And the wild part, they didn't mention Jim at all. They kept it focused on their Harlem days, Max's time inside, and what he wants to build next. But even with Max coming home to love and support, Jim Jones still couldn't keep his cool. Instead of welcoming the moment or showing growth, he went online throwing shade, calling the celebration pointless and trying to clown Max like he wasn't a major part of Dipset's legacy. That reaction told the whole story without him even realizing it. Because let's be real, Max being free brings back all the old conversations Jim never wanted to have in public. Who really wrote what? Who carried the sound? Who built the wave? All of that pops right back up the second Max steps into the light again, and Jim knows it. That's why his energy been shaky since day one. Meanwhile, Max wasn't even talking about Jim when he sat with Cam and Mace. He didn't throw dirt, he didn't get messy. He just spoke about his life, his growth, and what he's focused on now. And that silence hit way harder than any diss could have, because it shows Max isn't thinking about the past while Jim can't stop reacting to it. Fans noticed the difference instantly. People started posting old interviews, old credits, old drama, and suddenly the whole internet remembered how much Max truly did for the sound Jim built his image on. And that's where the unease really kicks in, because a free Max means those conversations won't fade away this time. Max is moving forward, leveling up, living life again, while Jim looks like he's stuck in the same old cycle. And then Camron dropped the line that had the whole internet buzzing. He claimed Jim is still scared of Max B after all these years. He didn't say it with jokes. He said it straight, and the moment he did, clips started flying around everywhere. Fans were digging up old moments where Jim ducked certain questions or brushed off Max's name like it bothered him way more than he admitted. Cam didn't have to explain it much either. The history speaks for itself. Back when Max started getting real attention, Jim wasn't ready for someone from his own camp to shine that bright. And now that Max is free again, that old pressure comes right back, because Max isn't the same man he was when he went in. He's calmer, smarter, way more focused, and that confidence shows every time he talks. Meanwhile, Jim keeps trying to downplay the whole situation, like he's above it, but people can see through that. The timing of his comments, the tone, the slick shots, it all looks like someone trying to defend a position he doesn't even feel secure in anymore. Max being home forces the truth back into the spotlight. Who really created what, who deserved credit, and who was being held back? And when someone like Camron, who was right there, says Jim been nervous around Max's name for years, that hits different. Max isn't even pushing the drama, but his presence alone shakes the room every time he steps in. And while Max isn't even thinking about Jim right now, it's clear Jim is still carrying something heavy. When Mayo asked him in a recent interview if he could finally let the past be the past, Jim straight up said no, and he refused to explain it any further. You could see it hit a nerve instantly. Now you got people in the comments saying things like, Jim still has PTSD about Max running around World Star back in the day, dissing him 24/7 and even bringing up the hotel situation again. The internet never forgets, and they let him know it loud. But other people had a whole different take and wrote, Jim is saying this because Max B is not in front of him. If they saw each other, there is no way that they could not heal and move forward as brothers. The love is still there. Jim is hurt. Jim feels hurt by Cam too. Jim has to realize he hurt Max B too. That is why he responded that way. I think they can move forward. That comment had folks debating all night. So what's your view on it? Can they really move past everything, or is there just too much history for things to ever go back to how they were before Max got locked up? This situation runs deep, way deeper than most fans even realize. And before you dip, make sure you subscribe to Dripzine, drop a comment, like this video, and share it if you rock with the content. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that hype this video button. It's free and it helps the channel grow big time. Thank you.